finance. For more information, please go to www.cpaforthepeople.com or call at area code 630-244-7893. The opinions expressed on the following sponsored program are strictly those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to We Are the People with Tracy Marks and Jorge Estamba, who ask you to know what's happening with your student loan. Tracy and Jorge keep a deep look at student loans in this country and the industries that surround it. Every week, We Are the People will bring you new insight into the corporate welfare industry, such as bailouts, and they connect with student loans. The show will highlight on your constitutional rights and how the current system is built to infringe upon them. Join the conversation by visiting our website chat room at wearethepeople.tv. Or call the show at 888-565-1470 and let us hear from you. And now, let's tune in to Tracy and Jorge for this week's discussion.
Hi, good evening, and welcome to another edition of We Are the People. My name is Jorge. Tracy is on much-deserved vacation and also doing some research for her projects regarding the student loans, which she has been doing a great job all of this year of 2014. Speaking about 2014, this will be the last show of the year of this 2014, which was a very interesting year, to say the least, in social activism and politics. And I'm going to do a little bit different than usual. I'm going to take care of the housekeeping, so to speak. That means the things that are not the core of the subject and the politics, and just go over a few things. First of all, it's been a tremendous year for this program, for Tracy and myself. It's been a tremendous experience in getting to know a lot of people through the internet, through the emails that we receive that we greatly encourage. We read all of them. We have answered all the emails. My email address appears at the bottom of the screen in the graphics. For those listening on WWNN 1470 AM radio in Boca Raton, which we're emanating from, lovely Boca Raton in South Florida, my email is JES, T as in Tom, OM as in Mary, B as in boy, A, at bellsouth.net. Again, because it's very important, we'd love for you to write in. We've had a lot of communication via email, positive, negative, neutral, whatever. We read and we respond. This is a program that is communication, obviously. It's logical, it is, but literally we're communicating. We're communicators, and we want to hear from you. Again, for those listening on radio, it's J, E as in Edward, S as in Sam, T as in Tom, O, M as in Mary, B as in boy, A as in Apple, at bellsouth.net. Please send any comments. They're always welcome. Again, whether it's constructive criticism, whether it's you like it, you like us, you don't like us, you don't like me, whatever. We read them and we respond, because that is what this business is about. It's communication. So again, thank you very much. It's been a great year. It's been a great experience. 2015 will bring better things for this program. We're working on some other things that I'm not at liberty right now because it's not concrete, but certainly we plan on doing some different things. We might be expanding on time, et cetera, et cetera. But the important thing is that you were with us in 2014. We've met some of you in different places that we have gone. It's really has been a great experience. And again, we look forward to 2015 to keep on trying, to keep on trucking, to trying to improve things, again, as communicators and involved in social justice. We on behalf of this show, Tracy and myself and all the production staff, we want to wish you the best in 2015. The best thing in my opinion, that I can offer is to wish you the peace, that peace may reign in all of us, in all our hearts, peace in our country, that we might come together as one people, and then again, that peace reigns all over us and all over the world, because that's what we need the most. So from us here, that's what we wish. A very happy new year to all of you and your family. And again, may peace reign all over our country, all over us, and all over the world. Another little tidbit. Sometimes I get, the emails are fantastic. They're interesting. They all are, whether positive or negative. They're all interesting. And again, we always answer them, both Tracy and myself. Sometimes I get some emails commenting on how I dress. Some of them are very kind and say, well, you dress very nice. Some of them are not. I know somebody that said that I know of, by the way, that didn't like the way I dressed at a point in time, and it was just an opinion, and it wasn't to be taken seriously. But talking about fashion, I'm very proud to be wearing a very special shirt tonight. And since it is New Year, we will get into the heavy politics that I always get into and treat it with passion. But I want to thank the person that gave me this shirt for Christmas. Somebody very special that I do wish a great New Year, a lot of love and peace and happiness. And that is my fiance, Patty, okay? Patricia Reyes, better known as Patty, who lives in Miami. The best to you, my dear. Love you very much. Thank you for the shirt. Without this gift, I wouldn't be able to afford it, so I wouldn't be wearing it. Okay, those for your fashionistas out there. Here's my brand new shirt. Hope you can see it well on TV. Okay, not promoting anything, so I didn't want to show the logo. But again, thank you very much for the gift. I really appreciate it, and you're a very special person. Getting involved with other matters. This will be another Move On Monday. We don't do it every week. The Move On Monday, that's something we're looking forward into 2015 to work something out. Move On is an organization that I belong to. We're over 8 million strong. And like we say, we're over 8 million strong, fighting for social justice in this country of ours and fighting for social justice for all of us. Because justice for all is what we're seeking. That is more or less the informal motto that we have at Move On that I like to encourage. Move On. I also am the leader, organizer for Move On, coordinator for the district in South Florida based in Miami-Dade. Very, very proud to have been with them for a number of years. This is an organization that is reputable. Everything that we do is based on respect in our Constitution. We abide by our Constitution. That's what we fight for. That's our basis because, after all, our Constitution stands for social justice and justice for all. That's what it's all about. It's about we, the people. Move On is the second largest organization of its type in the United States, and we have grown tremendously, and I'm very proud to be part of that Move On organization. It's based in Washington, D.C. We have regionals in Carolina and other regions of the country because, again, we're a national organization. We've been around since 1998, and this, again, will be another Move On Monday. What do we do on a Move On Monday, or what do I do on Move On Monday? Well, we touch on some of the critical subjects that MoveOn.org is fighting for, that is involved in, and that's what Move On Mondays are about, so that we can promote those issues that are critical to every single one of us. Move On is for the majority of the people, the majority of citizens. We're not for the 1%, not that we're against them, or the 2%. We're not against any Americans, but we do fight for the causes of the majority of the people that unfortunately do not necessarily coincide with 1 or 2%. Okay? Talking about the 1 or 2%, the first subject that I would like to touch upon tonight, which is a big issue, and we've been fighting and Move On with many other organizations around the country, is Citizens United. Citizens United in January will be 5 years old. Unfortunately, it was a horrendous mistake by the U.S. Supreme Court. We had to abide by the Supreme Court because, again, we're an organization that we respect the law and we abide by the law. But that doesn't mean that we cannot criticize it and fight for, in a democratic and constitutional manner, what the Supreme Court has done with Citizens United. Citizens United was presented 5 years ago as such, as Citizens United, and what they wanted was for the contributions in our electoral process, the contributions, the money that goes into our elections, that it would have no limitations. First of all, they declared corporations as people. So basically, what that meant was that they're people and they're free to donate and do whatever they want in politics in the elections. What this does, ladies and gentlemen, is that it gives a tremendous power to a minority, to corporations, to the mega rich. Now, there's nothing wrong with being mega rich. There's nothing wrong with being corporations. I have worked all my life for corporations until I became independent 3 years ago. I did very well at major corporations. I respect them. And this is what the United States of America is all about. Free enterprise, corporations. We are a capitalist society. MoveOn and myself and all these organizations that are against Citizens United are not against corporations. What we are against is that corporations are people and that they can contribute as much as they want. And what does that do? That turns the balance. That no longer gives us a fair playing field when we make donations. What it does is give the power to a minority. Now, I'm a Democrat. I'm a Democrat as far as the political spectrum is concerned. I am a member of the Democratic Executive Committee for Miami-Dade, and I'm very proud of that. But I don't care whether the money is utilized by Democrats or Republicans. When you start playing with that law, with that critical decision that our Supreme Court made, you are playing with fire. You are playing with something that can erode, and it already has been shown, that it can erode our democratic principles, whereby a few have a tremendous influence on elections. Because nowadays, as you know, with the telecommunications boom and TV, since the Kennedy and Nixon debate on TV, that started the whole thing in 1960, okay? Back then, it was peanuts what was being spent. It was completely different until 5 years ago. Now, again, the playing field is on the hands of the very, very few of the 1% of the mega rich and corporations. We can't allow that. We have to go back to what we are, a democracy for the people, by the people, a democracy whereby we can all participate, and it's not governed by a few in the privilege. We are governed by we, the people, which is 320 to 330 million. Not 1% or 2% of that population, but by all. And we want it to be a fair playing field. This is something that we will continue to fight as MoveOn, that all social activist progressive organizations are fighting for. And in January, the alliance that we have made, all the major social activist organizations in this country, will have 5 million signatures delivered to Washington in January or sometime in the beginning of 2015. We will have 5 million signatures. Now, never in the history of this country has that many petitions been turned in for any cause whatsoever. If you're an activist or you have an idea of what 5 million signatures are, you probably don't. It's hard to fathom. Let me put it in perspective. When you get 100,000 signatures in a petition, you did a great job, believe it or not. Why? Because people do not participate in the process as much as they should. Even though petitions nowadays are very easy through the internet, through all the emails that we get, and we just press one button, and in 5-10 seconds, maximum 15 seconds, if you have to fill in something, sometimes you just put in your first name or the first initial, and your name will come up, George, and the last name will come up, Harris, and the address, you put your first two numbers, and it'll come up. It's very simple nowadays. But still, we still have a lot of apathy. So in order to get 100,000 signatures, you did a hell of a job, whoever it was, whatever organization. To get 1 million, it is extremely difficult. That is very, very impressive. And we're going to get 5 million. We're going to get 5 million signatures denouncing and protesting Citizens United. We already got 60 votes in the U.S. Senate. We needed 67 votes because what we're looking for is to amend the Constitution and to do away with Citizens United, to bring back the money to the people and not to the mega rich and the corporations. Corporations are not people. You and I are people. We breathe. We're individuals. Corporations are not. We will defeat that. We will bring that down, and we will make certain that we, the people, get the power once again in elections and not be at risk that a few will buy elections. That is very dangerous in a democracy, and we are certain that we will win that battle when we have the 5 million signatures and when Congress and the Senate and the House of Representatives, because the people will be speaking, that amendment will be granted. We will win that fight. We will continue to fight that. All organizations are fighting. We're united. We're in alliance to defeat that. That is one of the main subjects that MoveOn has been battling for 5 years, and we're getting there. But again, we're not alone. We can't do it alone. There's a lot of other great organizations in this country that we're allied with, and we depend on the people. Go on to moveon.org. There you can become a member. There you can see what's happening. There you can see a lot of critical things with unbiased, real, legitimate information. There's also a platform which is signon.org. If you want to create your own petition, please do so. In a democracy, that's the beauty that we have in this country. We still have that. We're not going to lose that. We won't allow anybody to take that away from us. But use it. Go on there. Make your own petition. Look at the other petitions. If you like them, sign petitions. This is how we voice our word. This is how we change the things that are wrong in a democratic society, in a peaceful and civilized society. This is how we do it. We can't do it. We have won a lot of battles. A lot of battles have been won. And this is one that is critical, and we will continue to fight. Again, go on to moveon.org. Go into the platforms for petitions, please, and go into Citizens United and unite with us. We will be on a regular basis reminding you about Citizens United. We need to do it. This is critical for our democracy. The other thing that MoveOn is fighting very hard for with other organizations is the low wage is not okay. Low pay is not okay, ladies and gentlemen. MoveOn, with a lot of members in Congress, but not enough, and along with the president, are fighting for the $10.10 low wage to be in effect. Now, during this midterm election, there were a number of states that was on the ballot, municipalities, that the low wage is not okay was on the ballot, and whereby a number of states voted on that. Every single state that it was allowed to be brought up, to be voted on, every single step voted for wages in their respective states and their respective communities to be increased. So we are fighting the battle, we're winning the battle, but we need to win the war. The war is to get 10-10 at the federal level. President Obama has done it for federal employees because he can do it as an executive order, but the 10-10 has to be approved by Congress. We need to show them that in this country we cannot survive on the wages of $7.93, which is the minimum wage, the federal wage. Here in the state of Florida, it's a little bit more, and it varies state to state. It has to be made a national law. $10.10 is not a big deal for corporations, okay? $10.10 affects 25 million Americans that do not make the 10-10 wage, that are under that are around the $7.93, $8 plus wage. 25 million Americans will benefit with this law going into effect. Ladies and gentlemen, that's almost 25% of our labor force. There's 114 million people that work in this country. 25 million of those people will be affected. It will inject money into our economy. It will improve the economy. Don't listen to what the lobbyists have been able to do with a lot of those congressmen that are either in the House of Representatives or in the Senate that don't care about us, because they've been fighting that. The House of Representatives, along with John Boehner, they have held that. They haven't even taken it to a vote under the Hastert rule, another great rule that was brought in to protect the interest of the few. The rule that states that it's not a law, it's nothing. It's an informal, it's an informal rule is the only way I can put it. Look up Hastert rule. That's the way that John Boehner keeps from bills from the president and bills from the Senate that can be passed in the House of Representatives with a majority of Republicans. There's a lot of Republicans that are well-meaning, that do want to pass these social justice laws. But John Boehner and those few cronies that have been bought by the all-powerful, it hasn't even gotten to the floor, because he has the power to maintain those laws, throw them in a drawer, throw them in a trash can, and not take it to a vote. Well, we can't allow that. We are fighting for the $10.10 to go into the Congress, so it will become a federal law. And by the way, if you think like the propaganda machine that comes out, that this will only is for young people and students that go to high school, that's a fallacy. It's a lie. 70% of the people who are receiving minimum wage are adults. I'll say that again. 70% of the people of that 25 million people that will be benefited by the 1010 law are adults. They're not kids like they want us to believe. Even if they were kids, young kids going to high school and a college have a right to have a living wage. But it's adults. 57%. Also another fallacy. Listen to this. 57% are white, or what's called the Anglo. White Americans. They're not immigrants. They're not Latinos. They're not from any other country. They are the people that came here, live here, that are citizens. Again, they're white Anglos. 57%. 64% of them are women, working women that need that money to pay bills. A lot of those women are single mothers. That's how important and critical the $10.10 is, my fellow Americans. Don't listen to all the crap that you're fed. Look it up. Labor statistics. In today's world, you can look up legitimate statistics, legitimate data, without being fed the bull that we're being fed by a group of people in Congress that are cronies for the rich. And by the way, don't feel sorry for the corporations. Don't let them feed them the bull crap, okay, and the BS that they feed you. 4 years in a row, they have broken records for corporate profits. Now, these are the biggest corporations in the country. Okay, that 25% of them don't pay taxes. That's right. 25% of these corporations don't pay taxes. 4 years in a row, they have broken profit records, corporate profit records that are world records. And they still cry, poor babies. They only make billions and billions of dollars. And now, there's nothing wrong with that. This is a capitalist society. I have a business. I have a right to make as much money as I can. But I am not, don't come crying to me that you don't make profits under Obama because he's a communist or a socialist. Okay? That's crap. They've made more profits in the last 4 years than in the history of this country and in the world. That's a fact. Our Wall Street, the financiers, they've made more money in the last 4 years than ever. The highest index on Wall Street, in the stock exchange ever. So don't let these guys fool you, okay? You're not going to lose your job because this goes up. They have enough money. The smaller businesses, they work on a different basis, which I'm not all that familiar right now with the law. But don't let them feed you that crap. We need the 1010 to revive our economy so that people in this country can get away from the federal subsidies. Okay, like Kmart, who has signs in their employee lounge and how to apply for social welfare and food stamps. Okay? The second largest corporation in the world who makes billions of dollars in net profit, they will put signs and they will guide you. They will tell you how to apply for food stamps and federal subsidies. No, those people deserve $10 an hour, Kmart. Okay? They don't want federal subsidies. They don't want food stamps. They're hard-working people, hard-working Americans like we've always had. They don't want handouts. What they want is a real living minimum wage so that they can at least get by with basics. That's how proud those people are. You make billions of dollars. You get all sorts of tax loopholes along with a lot of other corporations. So please, don't cry. Don't fool the people. You are not going to lose your job, Americans. We have to stand firm on this. Other countries in the world are way above $10. They're at $12, $13, $14, $15 an hour. And here we're begging for $10 an hour. Please, let's stick together. 2015, Citizens United will be repealed. We will have $10.10 an hour to protect those 25 million hardworking Americans so that they don't have to go on food stamps and they can have dignity back. Let's make this a great country for all these great workers so that they don't have to beg. 1010 will be won in 2015 with the help of you, of every American, that we will fight in 2015 to make it a better year, to improve things in this country, which is still the greatest country in the world, but we have a lot of things to improve on, and together we can. Have a great new year, a lot of peace, a lot of happiness. Thank you for making this show a success. We depend on you also. Peace to everybody. Thank you.
You have been listening to We Are the People with social advocates Tracy Marks and Jorge Estamba, who every week bring to the light the needs and changes in our current system. Tune in every Monday night at 7 p.m. on wearethepeople.tv and participate in the conversation in the chat room or call 888-565-1470. Tune in next Monday for more information and facts. And Tracy and Jorge remind you to stay aware of your surroundings and challenges at all times. The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its hosts, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.